Alrighty. Yeah, I know it's from Wrestling Jesus, but I just love doing it. But anyway, what I want to talk about this topic is the MIZ, A Fall from Grace. Man, where do I start? I made a video like a few weeks back talking about is Randy Orton in the doghouse. And now, since, his feud with Kane has kind of subdued and subsided, it looks like they're going to finally put Randy Orton, climbing the ranks and finally put him back in the title picture. But the Miz, my God, looking at current WWE television in the past, say, 3 months, I think the Miz is just as, if not probably worse than what Randy Orton was and now coming out of. Just wow. Miz goes from being the WWE champion, headlining WrestleMania and defeating John Cena, to just basically going into this year, coming into the year 2012, kind of being basically, an afterthought. His last championship match was at TLC of December last year. But since then, Miz has just been, I don't know what the WWE officials are doing. He's just been, like I said, an afterthought. He hasn't been really in any type of meaningful, feuds. The last meaningful thing I think Miz had done was his thing with R-Truth. But then when R-Truth, had got suspended due to smoking, failing the drug test, and, when he came back, they broke Awesome Truth up, which I thought was just stupid. Honestly, when they brought back R-Truth, I thought they should have just kept R-Truth with the Miz, because for as much as Miz helped R-Truth stay relevant, I think R-Truth also helped the Miz stay relevant, and I think those guys would have been a good tag team. And I like them together as a tag team, but Miz leading up to WrestleMania, I think he lost like a lot of matches. He just finally being the last guy who got picked for John Laurinaitis' team. And even though, he got a spot at WrestleMania, and he was the winning factor for John Laurinaitis and his team at Mania. Since then, Miz hasn't done anything. He goes from, like I said, headlining WrestleMania with the championship on the line against John Cena, and defended it successfully, even though Rock interfered, but still, he defended it successfully, to just going to Extreme Rules, fighting an opening non-pay-per-view match, a non-televised match at that, a match that's not even on the pay-per-view card, a match that was only aired through WWE.com/YouTube against Santino Marella for the U.S. title, and he lost to Santino Marella. What? How did you take a guy from, like I said, again, I used the example, WrestleMania championship match beats John Cena, to an opening non-televised, YouTube-only U.S. title match against Santino, and he loses to Santino? How do you go from here to there? Miz has hit the bottom of the barrel. Randy Orton, I say Randy Orton has, been sidetracked or been kind of pushed aside for the last, 4 or 5 months. And, going into Over the Limit, they're finally putting them back in the title picture, which is great. But the Miz, I think Miz has probably gotten there worse than Randy Orton. Miz is he's literally hit the bottom of the barrel. After Extreme Rules, we didn't even get to see, if I remember correctly, we didn't even see Miz on Raw for like the next 2 or 3 weeks after Extreme Rules. We didn't even get to see Miz, I think, even building up to Extreme Rules. We didn't get to see Miz on Raw or on SmackDown building up to Extreme Rules. The only time we saw him after Extreme Rules was at the Beat the Clock Challenge, but that was just pretty much it. It was like he wasn't even important. It's like they just threw him in there, And then I think this past Monday on Raw, he lost to Brodus Clay. Are you kidding me? Brodus Clay? Like, it's one thing if you have Jack Swagger, and maybe to a certain extent, Dolph Ziggler feud against Brodus Clay. But The Miz, and he lost to Brodus Clay? Are you kidding me? A former WWE champion, a guy who headlined WrestleMania? You have him losing to, I mean, no offense to Brodus, because Brodus has done a good job. He's a decent big man wrestler. But just wow. And I'm not a Miz marquee, I'm not a big, huge Miz fan, but I just hate to see that when WWE, when they invest into a superstar, how they just end up just pulling the rugs from right underneath their feet, and it's like, why? Miz is now an afterthought. Miz is, I'm not even sure if I would consider the Miz an upper mid-card guy anymore. If WWE wants to build main event talent, they should stick with Miz and build Miz up to be a main event talent. That's one of the things that's lacking, I would say, on both shows. We have some top baby faces, Randy Orton, Punk, Cena, Sheamus. But the one thing that I would say that we're definitely lacking are some top heels. And, Mark Henry was a good heel, but, he lost some steam. They had him jobbing every week to Sheamus. The Miz, guys like The Miz and I know John Laurinaitis is a heel, but he's an authority figure. I'm speaking of terms of wrestlers, guys who will go in and challenge the baby faces for the titles. Miz, Alberto Del Rio, I think guys like that, those need to be some top heels that they really need to invest in. And Daniel Bryan, I probably consider Daniel Bryan probably right now is probably the only number one top heel right now in WWE as a wrestler, not counting John Laurinaitis, but as a wrestler. I think Daniel Bryan's probably the only top heel. But wow. Let me know what you guys think about this. I think this is sad for Miz. That Miz is just, I don't know. Some stuff was being said that Miz is kind of feeling a bit burned out and may want to take a break from WWE and kind of leave. I don't know how true this is or not, but I don't know. I mean, the man is just falling from grace. So let me know what you guys think about this topic and the Miz's current, how can I say, his latest dilemma. Leave your thoughts in the box below. Subscribe. Peace.